We can do that. Real estate investing is still on the top of most people's minds. And don't forget, we buy real estate, all of us, not based on market conditions. If you ever thought about investing in real estate and you think that it's based on market conditions, let me help you. We buy based on social issues, death, divorce, drug abuse, job loss, relocation, all types of hardships. So that gives us an opportunity to serve the community. Okay. So if you think just because your market is hot or it's cold or it's going left, it's going right, it's going up, down, or even sideways, you can still make money in real estate. And not only make money, help a lot of people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Chris Haskins, hanging out with my friend Dan Borrero. And every Sunday evening, we come on here to not only to give you what's on our minds from doing real estate at 50 years combined, but to help you put an action plan together for yourself so you can get out there and build some network and possibly build a real estate empire for yourself. Dan Borrero, what's up, homie?
As always, man, it's great sharing the screen with you every Sunday night. I actually look forward to this. So, although you and I, we spoke a lot today, didn't we?
I'm always talking to you, Dan. Shit. Whether it's real estate, whether it's marketing, whether it's helping a client or something I don't know, I always get an opportunity to to talk to Dan, and I want to make sure everybody I was thinking about you, like, man, you don't have to do this.
Neither do you, right? Neither one of us do.
I'm just saying, like, you were talking about your portfolio with me the other day, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot you got to deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah. Listen,
So
the reality is, what entrepreneur doesn't deal with a lot? I mean, I don't care if it's the guy selling hot dogs on the corner. He still has to deal with the weather, whether it's hot, cold, raining, snowing, right? He's got to deal with, he's got to, if he's got 200 customers in a day, he's got 200 personalities he's got to satisfy.
that's something.
Right.
Wow.
He's got to deal with his backache. There's always something. There is no entrepreneur that is not resolving a problem on a daily basis. Multiple problems.
That's deep. That's deep. So look, y'all, we're going to take your questions. We're going to talk to you about what we're doing, but I want to make sure that I announce that Dan and I have combined together once again to bring you some training. So we are announcing the rental property buying blueprint. Can I get a clap for that? Good gracious. Can I get a clap for that? The rental property buying blueprints. We're going to show you guys all of the things you need to do to put together so you don't make the wrong decisions like I did buying my first rental properties. Dan, if you had Dan Borrero in your ear, the 30-year veteran, do you think you would do things a little differently with your
Oh
acquisitions?
gosh, everything would have been done differently. But the reality is that's what brought me to the point I'm at today. The same way you made your mistakes, right? Um, is why we in the position we are in today. But the truth is that in today's market, as a result of social media, as a result of YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you know, you don't, what took me 30, 35 years to accomplish, most people today could get done in 10 years now
Yeah,
because the
it's
information is there. We don't have to you don't have to figure it out anymore.
a lot faster.
Yeah. If you don't mind, scroll up. Let's show people what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, y'all, this is gonna be cool. We're gonna get to your questions. Y'all hang in there with us. So, oops, scoop this thing over.
So, one of the things that I hate most is when people tell me about the 1% rule or the 2% rule.
What is that?
And
I'm
we're
talking
going to,
about with rent. With
yeah,
rent,
exactly.
if you pay,
So
what? Explain that to people, Dan.
basically, if your month's rent equals 2% of the
Of the
purchase,
actual
yeah,
purchase
then
price.
you're good, right? But the reality is that's so not true. It's not even it shouldn't even be used as a criteria or as a measuring criteria. So we're going to be disproving that. We're going to be showing you, how to really get the real after renovation value, how to really dissect the comps and research the comps, how to really figure out what your return on investment is going to be on the property condition, meaning the rehab, and then factor in hidden costs that many overlook when you're figuring out how much it's going to cost you
That's a
to
big one.
maintain that property on a monthly basis, right? So we're going to also be talking about all the things that Chris and I see on a daily basis when people hire us for one-on-one consultations. The property 9 out of 10 times doesn't make sense, but
Nope.
they seem to be getting into the deal out of fear of missing out or anxiety.
Mhm.
So basically, there's 11 different practices that Chris and I both practice, that we actually put into every single thought process when looking at a property. And we're going to be sharing that with you guys. Now, that's going to be a 3-hour course. For those of you that get the VIP section, you're going to be able to literally come in half an hour earlier. You're going to have a workbook, whether it's the VIP ticket or the general admission ticket. It's irrelevant. So you're going to get your workbook with that.
Yep.
And on the VIP though, I want you guys to really look at this. Not only are you going to get the class, but you're going to get the recording. You're going to get my calculator that I developed, that I currently use to analyze every single property on a long-term hold, and I can figure out whether that property within 5 minutes makes sense or doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
So you guys are going to have access to that as well. All right. But most importantly, I want Chris to talk about, this is the real kicker, the 30
Yeah.
free access to PropStream. Chris, tell them the deal you negotiated.
Yeah, we went back and forth with this probably all week, Dan and I, trying to figure out how to deploy this. But all the VIP members, I already talked to my connected prop. Y'all know I'm like a vendor for PropStream. We use it every day. If you don't have PropStream, I'm going to give you an opportunity, the first 10 people. Or are we giving it to everybody?
Yep.
Everybody. Wow. Okay. Whoever comes in with the VIP gets 30 days of PropStream for free. Now, I want to make sure everybody understands. It's 30 days. You have to go in there. For what PropStream does for me, it allows me to pull comps. I can skip trace, get phone numbers. I can get loan balances. I can get mortgage principal, original principal balances. I can get HOA liens. What other type of liens? All types of liens on a property. And in fact, we're buying one now from that the guy has a bunch of liens. You can decide whether you want to pay the liens off or take them subject to. So all of our VIP members, and tonight, if you stay on, I like to give, as Dan, we're going to give people that join us today, right now, something extra special that we're not even going to go over yet, but we're going to tell you all that in a minute. But the prop stream is all VIPs. Going to get that for free 30 days. That's $100 value right there. That's worth the price. I mean, shit, you're getting that for free.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and the reality is this, guys. You want to tell them about the special we're going to throw tonight?
Let's give a few minutes, Dan. I don't even know what it is. We did talked about it, but we're gonna take a call. We'll take a phone call.
How many people on here right now?
We got 30 people on here right now.
Let's do it, man. And they should be rewarded for being here on time.
That is true. That's true.
Right?
All right,
So
go ahead.
guys, for those of you that sign up tonight, you're gonna get the VIP ticket for the general admission ticket. VIP ticket for the general admission ticket. And you're going to save $50. You're going to get $117 value for only $67. And you're going to type in the code. The code is going to be DEAL50, capital DEAL50. So that's going to be the coupon code. You want to type it in the comments, or?
I guess I can. Dan is like, why not give it? All right. This is for today only, y'all. Today only for the first 10 people. Because Dan and I we've been talking a lot. Like, we have to reward the Roundup homies and the USA Land Venture families that will come on for the people that join us Sunday and Sunday only. Now, it's not going to be with so much after today anyway, but just because you joined us tonight, I want to give y'all something special. Because if it wasn't for y'all, we would have Dan and I'd be sitting here talking to ourselves. That ain't no. Use code.
We do enough of that, right, Chris?
We do. What is it? Deal 50?
Deal 50.
All right. That's only for the first 10 people. Today only. Goes away. All right. I'm honored to see y'all. Use code Deal 50. Dan, Trump's cutting jobs. What do you think about this DC exodus we're seeing? I'm just chomping at the bit because Dan, so much to talk to you about. We buy on social issues, and I believe that. And I'm not a Republican, Democrat. I'm liberal on some stuff. I'm conservative, and I don't even why you got to be liberal or conservative. Shit, what if I don't want to be either one?
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
I don't want to pick.
If I don't agree with a liberal policy, you know, I'm a far rightist, fascist, racist, whatever. And then if I don't agree with a, a Republican policy, I must be a liberal. Well, why can't I just be somebody that uses some common sense?
Common daggone sense, dog. Common sense.
How about just a guy who uses some common sense?
So I see, Dan, people selling there. I see a lot of listings. In fact, I want to bring my screen up, y'all. We're gonna take your call. Let me put the phone number up. Here we go. Call in with Dan and I help you with your action plan. Call in. You want Dan to help you with your action plan. 757-204-1332. All my Instagram homies, go to my link bio for the rental property buying boot camp link. It's right there. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. Look at the change. Oh my goodness.
And that's happening that quick.
Yes. Oh man. Wow. Look at this drop.
Yeah. So
wow.
I got to be honest with you. So I was looking at recruitments for the military, and they're averaging about 350 recruitments a day now.
Is that high or low?
That's pretty high right now. So if I was a person who was investing around military bases, I would be okay. I won't be worried, to be honest with you. Now, if I'm a person who's investing in DC, I'm worried right now.
Especially flipping right there.
Yeah, your rents are gonna be going down because it's gonna be a lot more available apartments. And the cost of housing is gonna go down. So if you're in the middle of a flip, man, I'd put a
better get that on the market right now.
Yeah,
right now.
So, but you're in it the long term. I think you're perfect.
The thing about where I live, Dan, we have 7 military bases here, right, in the Hampton Roads area. It's just, it's insane, right?
Yeah,
I'm so blessed, but I'm not in a bubble. I keep telling my daughter, call her, hold 1 second. I keep telling my daughter, so we are interdependent. We're interdependent. I'm not just, I depend on other markets, other people coming and going. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that markets can come and go real quick. And it's so weird you say that military thing, Dan, because the VA, they're the only people that's financing the people around here, the VA buyers.
Yeah, because it's all VA people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a caller.
Oh, caller, state your name and where you calling from.
Hey, what's going on, Chris and Dan? My name is Devin. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi.
How are you? Mississippi in the house.
Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Mississippi. What up, homie? Thanks for coming on with us, buddy.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate the gems and jewels you guys got. Most definitely.
Tell our wife. One day you tell our wives we're okay. What's going on, man?
Man, I got a potential deal on the table, and I wanted to get you guys input and guidance.
Got a deal. Got a deal on the table. Listen, I want to hype you up, dog. You looking? I don't want to. Nobody's. We're the only guys that are going to pat you on the back. At least you're out there making offers. Go ahead.
All right. So, and I want to add a little context to the situation. The person that the property name is in is now deceased. So with that being said, the heir of the decedent is looking to sell at this point. So I guess my question would be to you guys, how would I be able to lock in that potential deal? I mean, it's just, how I'll be able to lock in that potential deal.
I'm not following you. It's only one way to lock in a deal in real estate. I don't think.
Well, I think are you asking in reference to doing a subject to on it, or are you asking in reference to buying it outright with a mortgage? What is it that your intent is?
So I intend to buy it outright, but I guess my fear is in the event, because from what I understand, it hasn't been through probate yet. So, and I don't think the person that's now deceased left a will. So, in the event of after probate in this particular situation, how would I be able to make sure that he or the heirs will definitely sell to me?
So every state has different laws, right? That guides real estate transactions. So what I would do is that would be a question for your attorney in that state. And you could always maybe make a deal with the expected person who's supposed to be taking inheriting this property,
He
but it's
dealing
going to
with
be
them already.
subject to probate. But now you can lock it up. But I'm not sure if you could do that in Mississippi. So I would tell you that's a question I would refer to a housing an attorney that deals with this type of with real estate. They would be better prepared to tell you that because every state is different. I haven't done any business in Mississippi.
He can still try to get the. You're already dealing with the executor, correct, David?
They don't have a will.
Right,
The person
right,
doesn't have a will.
Oh, they don't have. So who? What is the title of the person you're dealing with?
right. So the title is in the descendant's name as of right now.
I'm saying, what's the title of the person? Who this person you're dealing with? Are they just an heir?
Oh yeah, yeah. They're there.
How
Yes.
many heirs is it?
So what I three. We'll say three.
3 heirs. Okay. Now we're
That I
gonna.
know.
I want Dan to chime in on this. What I have done in the past, right, in my younger years, and I would do it more now as an act of love, right? Because I want you to use this in a good way, not in a bad way. So what I have done, David, I want Dan to chime in. If you get one of the heirs, say it's 3 heirs, you get one heir to sign off, right? Then you get that purchase and sale agreement, and you can get a memorandum of contract, and you can record that. So that will be on title. You following me?
I'm following you.
So you got the memorandum, so you're on record. So the other two, you don't know, you don't even know the other two, correct?
I do not.
Yeah. So right now, you don't necessarily have the power to buy. However, I'm giving you this one not to screw them over, but to exercise your power to say, look, I've got little control over this property, okay? You with me?
Yeah, yeah. I'm taking it all in. Yes,
So you
sir.
got the contract with the one heir, you get that memorandum, record that. Now you're on title, right? Now the other people, they got to talk to you. The other heirs, you're gonna have to go through the whatever process that they're gonna go through to get the title in their name and all that. But Dan, what do you think about that move?
I gotta be honest with you, I put you on mute for a little bit because I had to do a thing on IG. But what were you saying?
We're gonna get it's 3 years. We're gonna get the purchase and sale contract with one.
Hmm.
We're gonna record our memorandum at the courthouse.
Okay.
I'm saying this from a position of love, not a position of malice, right? I don't want you jabbing people. I want you just to say, look, one of the heirs has agreed to sell, so let's talk about this. So at least they're gonna have a conversation with you, David.
Yeah, I agree. Basically, they can't do anything with the property without having a conversation with you because that's similar to what they call it here in New York as a Liz pendants.
Let's finish, but do it with love, David. Please. You know we always lead from the heart in this channel, dog. I don't want you jabbing these people, man. And I don't want to give information out that's gonna hurt people. So Dave, just promise me you're gonna do it with your heart.
Oh, most definitely. It's different from a place of love with
All right.
great intent.
All right. Anything else, Dave?
That may be it. Let me ask you, would that be similar to a first right of refusal, or is it kind of different from what you described?
It could be, but it all depends on. That's really
They
not
might,
going to help you. It all depends on the probate.
they might wipe it out all the way. All you want them to do is have a conversation because
Understood.
they're gonna do the probate or whatever they're gonna do. They're gonna say, "Damn, what's this? Let me get the guy a call, see what's going on."
Yeah.
That way you can say, "Oh yeah, I've been sitting back and I talked to the guy. That's what we agreed on." Then Dave, you got to work your magic. That's when you come in with the negotiation skills to say, "Look, this is what it's worth. This is where I'm at. Boom, boom, boom." Then you can kind of sell yourself after that.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Good talking to
Man,
you.
look, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you
Right.
so much for your questions.
Yep.
There's a Jennifer Jones is asking. I am not seeing where to apply the code DL50 prior to completing the order. You want to bring that up, Chris?
Maybe it ain't there. I don't know.
It should be. It was there earlier. We checked it.
Let's see.
In the interim, yeah, just go to checkout like if you were checking out.
Yeah, my bad. VIP coupon code.
Yeah, you would go right there where it says it has coupon code right there.
Deal 50 apply. Unfortunately or fortunately, you get to save $50.
Yep.
Fortunately for y'all, we are giving away the value to you. Harry, how do you handle business taxes? Do you file it yourself or do you have a tax strategist? Yeah, I don't file nothing. Dan?
Yeah, I don't file anything. I have a CPA. I speak to my CPA normally about twice a month.
Dan's on that.
There's not a thing that I buy of any. Like I just bought my new desktop and
You got a desktop?
yeah, I love my desktop. And I just bought literally also a laptop.
Y'all give it up for Dan Burrell buying a desktop. You let us know how Jurassic you really are.
One that has everything all in one, and
my laptop does too.
Yeah, well, again, I don't buy that without discussing with him to see which credit card I use so I know what company to deduct it from, right?
Smart.
So even my truck, it was several conversations because I wanted to figure out how I was going to get the most amount of tax benefits from buying that truck, right? Smart. So I don't think anybody look. I want to say this, and I say it with love.
Hold on 1 second,
Harry. Do not look at your accountant as an expense. Your accountant is part of your team, right? He makes you or she makes you just as much money as your carpenter, your plumber, your painter, your roofer. They are your realtor, your mortgage broker. Your accountant is part of your team. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't check up on that accountant. There's a person I would say to you guys follow. He's got a really big YouTube channel. It's Mark Kohler, Kolher.
Yep.
Gives out a lot of information. I can't tell you, sometimes I'm sitting at my desk just doing remedial work, and I'll be listening. And if he says something that I think I could use, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to email my accountant. Why can't I use this? And if we're not, how do we incorporate it? And if we can't, what do we have to do to use this, right? So, you have to always be challenging your accountant because, they're also pushing a lot of paper and it's a squeaky wheel that's going to get greased.
You're going to call on the line. Caller, state your name and where you're calling from, please.
This is Brother Scales, a.k.a. L Light.
Love it.
Hold on. A-L-I-G-T. Where you from, bro?
I'm from North Carolina, down here by the Greensboro/Charlotte area. I'm between the two.
How can we help you, sir?
How you doing, my brother? How can we help you? L Light.
Okay, I bought your negotiations like a while ago, and great course. I listened to it over and over and over and over. Here's the question I want to pose to both of you.
Thank you, buddy. I'm listening.
Here's the question I want to pose to both of you guys. When approaching a subject to deal, but I'm doing it for personal reasons, meaning I'm trying to acquire a subject to property for personal to live in. How would you ideally approach that deal versus if you're doing it for the investment? Maybe in 2 years, then I'm renting out. But first and foremost, I don't want to have an emotional attachment. If you get what I'm saying, as I approach this deal for subject to make it my personal residence initially, before making it a rental property. You get what I'm saying? How would you approach the subject to deal where you're getting a good deal for yourself, but you're not too emotionally attached to it? You get what I'm saying?
I approach it exactly where you're doing it. I'm not emotionally attached. It's all about the numbers. I don't see what you're doing wrong.
Is it something? Are you looking for L before? Because that's how I bought my last owner-occupied house. I want to make sure everybody clear with that. That's where I did it. So L, I want to make sure I'm clear with what you're looking for. You're a buyer, right?
Yeah.
But you're looking for an owner-occupied house.
No, sir. I want to make my first personal home purchase that I'm going to occupy, I want to approach it as a subject to. I mean, I'm not going through the bank.
I got it, brother.
So I want to buy the home. You get what I'm saying?
You want your owner occupant to be a subject to property.
No. The first home I buy for me.
Owner occupant.
I'm going to do it.
Are you saying you're owner and you're going to occupy the property? You're not an owner and you're going to rent it. You're going to owner and live in it.
Right. Yes. Subject to. Yes, sir.
Okay. Forget how you're going to buy it. I don't care how. I just want to make sure I'm understanding. We got to start here. You're going to own the property.
Okay.
You're going to occupy the property. Those two, right? You got these hats that you switch on. You're the owner. That doesn't mean you're going to live in it. But now we know that you're going to own it and live in it. Okay. So now you want to buy a sub too. Now we're going down. All right, cool. So I think that's the best way to buy, Brother L. So the only thing different when you do that is you don't have to worry about cash flow. So you can get a little emotional when you're buying, because that's what I did. I mean, I was buying it. The best thing about buying subject to, if you live in it, you don't got to make no money. You don't make no money.
Right.
So you can beat the entire market out. You can beat me out because I'm only buying subject to. I need right now. I need $300 to $400 to $500 a month cash flow. So you can go in and beat me out, brother.
Okay.
You see it. You got a whole nother ball game when you're buying it to live in it. We call that owner occupant. So when you go and tell the seller, Miss Smith, lay it on them. I'm looking for somewhere for my family. I'm looking for somewhere for my family to live. The only way I'm interested in doing this deal is by subject to. I need some place for my family to live. Let them know. People, you'd be surprised. People be like, I respect that guy.
Okay.
You know, Dan, anything else you got add on that?
I'm good with everything you said. He said.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, refresh your screen, guys. If you don't see the link, it's right there. Anything else, Brother Light?
No, sir. Thank both of you gentlemen for your time and everything that y'all give to us. Because if you lose money, you guys can get it back, but you can never get your time back. I appreciate both of you guys.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Much love. Dan.
If you don't mind, put up the number because I got some people on IG asking me for the number.
The number? Oh, I can't put. I had 5 calls while he was on. I can't put it on while we got people on there. Y'all, register in the video description below. The rental property buying blueprint. How many people are gonna come up with that? Join the rental property buying blueprint in the video description. Use code DEAL50 to get VIP for the same price as general admission. Only
today, only for the first 10 people, guys. So we're going to be covering, it's going to be a 3-hour course.
Y'all know how we do.
On a Sunday from 11 to 2. It's kind of insane if you're not there, because the thing that Chris and I get the most consultations for is asking us to evaluate a deal. The crazy part is that most of the time people are already in the deal, right?
Hold one second.
And I would say only 2 out of 10 times the deal is good. That I could tell somebody it's a good deal. Most of the time, 8 out of 10 times, it's not a good deal. Yeah. So, we're here to teach you guys. We're here to show you through experience, but with 11 steps that I, to this day, still incorporate when I look at a deal, right? And, it's going to be a 3-hour course. You're going to get a workbook with that. For those of you who get VIP, you're going to be able to ask questions during the class. You're going to get the recording of the class. You're also going to get access to my everybody's going to get access to my terminology guide. If you don't mind, put that up, Chris. Right.
I got callers calling in, and
let's take this call. We're going to bring it up. We'll bring it up later on.
Caller, state your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hey, Chris, how you doing? My name is Sylvester, and I'm calling from New Jersey.
New Jersey in the house. Good for you.
Hey, Hartford. See y'all later. I'd say, what up, Christian? Sorry. Have a good day. Take care, guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Chris, take this down.
I'm sorry. My daughter's birthday today, y'all. Y'all could just give me some breaks. So can I call you Sly, or does it got to be Sylvester?
Yeah. You call me Sly. You see me? Yeah, you call me Sly.
Cool. Sly from NJ.
I'm on the call with you guys as well. Yeah.
Mute your phone.
Hi, Dan, Chris. How you guys doing?
What up? What you got, Sly?
So I'm looking at a 4-unit right now, and I was looking to move into the place, but I got pre-approved that they said, we're gonna probably have to do a DSCR loan. My question is, should I be? Because I use this app called Ballpark Deal, and it's like with the numbers what they're asking, I'm not cash flowing whatsoever. So, what's your advice on this? Would you guys be looking at, hey, we need to cash flow a little bit?
Oh, did you say do I did?
Yeah, listen.
Hold on, let me pick up Dan's. Hold on, we gotta have a moment.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go crazy on that one.
No, yeah.
I actually feel sorry for Sylvester.
We love you, Sylvester. We love you. Yeah, we got empathy, dog. Let me do this. Let me say, let's clap it up for Sylvester for having the guts and the courage to come on here and talk about this shit where most people won't even do it. All right.
And not only that,
big ups to you, dog.
Sylvester, I want you to know you're actually helping a lot of people tonight with that question.
Right. You damn right.
You are helping a lot of people tonight.
Thanks for saying this, man. You really get big ups for that, dog.
So someone's asking. I just want to point that out. Who's that? The accountant's name on YouTube? Mark Mark Koller. Mark Koller. So listen up, Sylvester. I actually checked this out. Ballpark Deals. I'm not going to say anything bad about that particular app. I like my app a lot better. I designed it because I actually been doing this.
I'm sure these people have been doing it too.
Yeah, since 1989, right? I'm not, but I guess what I'm trying to say is this, guys. Listen up.
So there's over 2 reasons. He's over 2 reasons to buy real estate. Go ahead, Dan. We got to cut to the chase with this.
It sounds to me like you're even considering this deal because of anxiety, because you feel you may be missing out, or you may have been looking for a long time and you still haven't found the right deal. You cannot let your anxiety take control of your mindset of just following data and the numbers. If the numbers don't make sense, you do not buy it under any condition. Right now, however, Chris and I, we bought property when the numbers didn't make sense because we saw opportunity. We may have known that they were opening up a new hospital down the road, or they were opening up.
But we're in a position to do that too, Dan. I'm in a position to do that now.
Stay in the loss until that happens, right?
You're damn right.
Or there's been many times where I would buy a deal, didn't make sense on paper, but I knew I was going to be able to do added value by renovating the apartments or adding in
That's still over time.
Fixing up the parking area, a vacant lot that next to it that I could turn into a parking lot, right? I could do added value to it over time, and I could sustain that because of the position I'm in. But I couldn't do that in the beginning, and that's the situation you're in right now in the beginning. Now, you also mentioned you were talking about a DSCR loan, which leads me to assume that you have to go with a no income check. And the question is why, right? Why do you have to go with a no income check? Do not let these mortgage brokers put you into a bad deal, because everybody at that closing table is going to encourage you to close on this deal because they're all going to make money on you when you sign. And once you sign, none of them are going to give a rat's ass about you. Right? They all need you to sign so that they can make money. The mortgage broker needs you to sign. The realtor needs you to sign. The closing attorneys need you to sign. The title companies need you to sign. The underwriters need you to sign. Everybody in their needs you to sign for them.
They gotta love you.
They love you until the date until they get their check, and after that they're gone. So if the numbers don't make sense, you walk away.
Sylvester, when you're in your mind, are you new to the game?
No, I own a couple properties, but everything is with business partners. This is going to be my first one on my own.
All right, so we need to make sure that's even more important, that you need the cash flow. There's only 2 reasons we buy real estate. Underperforming, like Dan said, we can bring it up. Below market value. It's either below market value or it's underperforming, dog. Now, underperforming means the rents are lower. We're going to bring it up, or it's way below market. Other than that, man, there's no reason. If we ain't getting cash flow, I'm telling you, I almost got wiped out in 2008 for buying real estate with no cash flow. All right. Now, you moving in it, you got a little bit of leverage and a little bit of, my mentor calls it the Oz factor. because you need a place to live. Now, I don't know that whole story, but we can't answer that here. If you come through our thing, you could do a consultation with either one of me or Dan.
Yeah,
But
listen, Sylvester, I do a free mentorship class every single Wednesday night. It's free to come, free to attend, free to sign up, it's free to learn. Best of all, it's free to network. So, it's go to danielborrero.jr.com, and you could all sign up there.
I hope we helped you. So
Yep, I get your emails already, Dan. Thank you, gents. I appreciate you guys.
Good talking to you. I love Sylvester for telling us that damn. I want to curse. I wanted to fucking throw up when he says, "Do I need to get cash flow?" I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, are we not getting the word out, Dan? I'm sorry, dog. I get emotional because why else would you buy anything? Sylvester, I love you.
If you're not cash flowing, especially if you don't have that. Again, Chris and I were in a different situation. I bought properties that made no sense on paper.
Me too.
But I could see the future.
Way away. You're talking a 5-10 year play.
Right. And I could sustain that loss, right? For the sake of what I think is going to happen. But when you're in the beginning stages of your career, you can't take those chances.
Look at this. Clue 8 Chris has bought a piece of real estate in DC and he's going through hell. Oh, damn. Clue 8 Chris, come on, tell me what's going on with that. Dang, you know what's going on up there?
I'm assuming because of all the layoffs that are coming, people leave.
Now, press 2.
Hey, caller, you're on the line with Chris and Dan. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
Call from
That launchers, right?
Oh.
For the sake.
Caller, you're on the line with Chris and Dan. State your name and where you're calling from.
Patrick from Alabama.
How are you, Patrick?
In the building tonight.
A lot of people
Patrick
tonight.
How y'all doing?
The dirty.
Right.
The dirty in the building.
Oh yeah.
What up?
Yeah. Hey, I got a quick question. I know y'all were bringing up accountants and stuff. I have an accountant that I've been using for the past 8 years, and they have an in-house bookkeeper. And really, it just run me nuts trying to scramble to give them the accounts and everything as far as my Home Depot account and my Lowe's account, passwords, and my checking accounts and stuff like that, my business accounts. And so my question is basically, do you have a separate bookkeeper to keep up with stuff like that? Because I was told not to, but
what?
It's like I'm having
told you not to have a bookkeeper. What you gonna go in there? You gonna go in there and put all that shit? You gonna put it all in yourself?
Yeah, it's just like they have an in-house bookkeeper, and they just pull the records pretty much for 12 months. And then I'm scrabbling. They ask me questions. What is this for? What is that for? And it's just.
All right, listen up, Patrick.
And then
Patrick, I'm gonna break it down real easy for you. Check this out.
QuickBooks.
Okay. I'm gonna show the audience how many people we got on here right now.
We got 50 people here and 10 on IG.
All right, guys, listen up. I run multi-million-dollar company. These are receipts, literally.
You better have them, dog.
From yesterday.
You better.
All right.
Yeah. I got them right here. Deposit slips.
You see what it says on the top? It says what company, what credit card.
Right.
If you look here, I'm going to show you something else, guys.
There's no way around it.
It says Home Depot receipts. What company on top? Which apartment building? Right? And what apartment? Right? So now what happens is I throw all this on. The only thing I do is I write down what I spent the money. Like who it's supposed to go to and what credit card it's on. So now I'm fortunate. My wife works with me. So I come home at night. I write it down. I throw it on the side of the desk. Next morning, my wife comes to my desk, picks up receipts, and then she files everything. Now, that's my bookkeeper. Now, when my credit card bill comes in, I have a credit card for each company, right? When that credit card comes in, she knows that receipt goes to that charge, and it's written down what it was for which apartment. Now, when that gets sent over to my accountant sees the actual receipt for the actual charge, and he sees the actual check that was written for that actual charge to that credit card, right? There's no guessing if it was for postage, if it was for a material, if it was for renovation, if it was for capital improvements, whatever that is for. And then because on my bank statements, next to the check is also written what that check was for which apartment number, what the work was. So it's very simple, right? So if it was for insurance,
Simple.
whether it was for HOAs, and it doesn't take much time if you have a process and procedure in place. If you don't have that process and procedure, now, this is tax season. Let's talk about this. What I also do is now when I get my tax returns, and I've actually almost done with them all, I'm going to have another meeting on Monday to finish up the last 3 with my accountant, but it's not due until March 15th. But I'm way ahead, right? In comparison to a lot of other people I know. But
Me
so
too.
the point is that now when I get those tax returns, right? All those bank statements, those 12 bank statements, all those credit card receipts, all the receipts that whether it was Home Depot, Lowe's, whether it was the post office, whether I bought lunch from my guys that were working on the job site, the gasoline bill to get to that job site, whatever that was, is in together with those tax returns. If I get ordered and they want to see a check, not a problem, I got it. But to make matters better, I do redundancy. So I got it up on my desktop, and I also got it up on the cloud. So for whatever reason, my desktop goes bananas, I could go to the cloud. If for whatever reason I lose my desktop and there's a fire in my house and I lose all of my files, I still got it on the cloud. So you got to have a redundancy in place as well.
Patrick, is this helping you at all?
Yes, yeah. Yes.
If you wait until the end of the month to organize your receipts, it's going to be a real pain in the ass because you got to
Depends on
remember
how much volume he's doing.
You got to
But Patrick,
remember.
you got to have why don't you want to have a bookkeeper? What is it? Where does the resistance come from? I'm curious. We got time because it's President's Day tomorrow.
Let me ask you: does your accountant do bookkeeping service for you if you want to?
Yeah, it's all in house.
Okay. Well, if they're asking you that many questions, it's because you're not giving them the answers they need.
Yep.
See, when I send over my stuff, they're not calling me for anything because everything's written on the receipt. Everything's written on the check.
But that's a muscle, man. Dan, you've developed a muscle to do that.
Right. There's no
guesswork. Yeah, I do that. I write everything like on my receipt. If I have this charge, Home Depot, I write down windows, the address, and I break it down that way. But my problem is the bookkeeper that's in house with the CPA. Basically, they don't do it like every month. Like they don't do the profit and loss every month. They basically do it in a batch for 12 months.
Okay, then get yourself a new accountant.
Hold on.
See, my accountant.
Hold on, Dan. It all depends on what do you pay. What? Okay, for some accountant to say they don't do something, are you not paying for the service, or do you want? Why wouldn't they do what you pay them to do?
Wow.
They don't offer that.
Well, they have a bookkeeper, but like I said, I mean, I asked them could they do it once a month. So my profit and loss, but
they don't offer that.
No.
All right, let's get a new bookkeeper. That's over. Dan?
Yeah, listen, I think it has a lot to do with what Chris says. It's also a matter of how much you're willing to pay, right?
Like,
so
I'm paying $350 a month, but I don't want to deal. Look, boom, done with it. It's like,
I spend more than that, and I got
Dan's spending way more. But Patrick, what's your budget?
It all depends on.
Yeah, I've been in the business since 2008. So
what's your budget?
I've been in it for a while. I got enough. Yeah, I was just wondering if y'all had separate bookkeepers, or do I need to find basically a CPA that can provide a bookkeeper?
because I live in a small town, so it's my selections are not, you know.
My account was
Patrick,
in
Really?
Chicago.
You know what the best thing what the internet has done for
Yeah,
us?
my account was in Chicago.
Yeah.
Not even here.
My accountant literally in Connecticut.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it really boils down to what you want. You communicate with another bookkeeper. They do all the stuff. They can send it to your. If you like the accountant, just do that.
Okay. Yeah, I must have to find another accountant.
I don't think you got to find a new accountant. Just get a new bookkeeper. Like, look, I want this. Go over there, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part about the internet is that you're no longer confined to your area. You can go anywhere.
Yeah. Patrick, I think we got to look in the mirror for you, brother. I don't think this is a they problem. I think this is a me problem. Dan?
Exactly. There's a question here from Destiny.
Patrick, anything else? We got to get out. You done, Pat? We got you, Patrick?
No, I want to give my props to Dan. You know, I ordered a few things. I ordered his lease. I ordered his renovation. And I want to also say I'm on the Unleash crew, and I wanted to just give the props out for him because not only because I've been in the business for a while, but he's taught me a lot. I've been in it since 2008, and I'm learning stuff, and I'm always learning stuff anyway because in this business I'm always a person that sponge and learn stuff. If I'm always reading and whatever, but this guy not only does he give you concepts, it's how to step by step.
Yes, I do.
And that's valuable. And it's just like, you know, I'm paying this little bit amount of money for how much he's giving me.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's like I'm stealing from him. So, you know, because I mean, it's just so much knowledge that he's just breaking down how, you know, different things and different types of situations. I mean, it's valuable. It's more valuable than what I'm paying for.
I agree.
So, I mean, I just want to give you props.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Man. Yeah, his video library is Unleashed. I mean, if you don't get it, you got to be out of your mind. But yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Guys,
your wife, I tell him to talk to your wife, man. I tell you, know, Dad, I know you won't wear five. Your wife, I didn't believe it when she said you wear 5 cents.
Yeah. I tell people, listen, go to Daniel, just bring it up if you don't mind. Go to DanielBorrero-Jr.com, sign up for my free mentorship class every single Wednesday night. It's absolutely free.
Listen.
Hi, this is my first time here. Join. Are written real estate questions okay to ask? Absolutely. Put it into the chat.
Please call her. Hold 1 second. 1 second. You got a written question, Dan?
She was just asking if we would answer to it, and I'm telling her yes, we will.
Okay, cool. Call her, state your name and where you calling from. What up?
Hey, Chris, Dan. This is Rick Castillo calling again from Queens, New York.
What up?
How are you? Talk to us. Queens in the house.
How you doing, my brother?
Hey, pretty good. Thank you, guys. I had a couple of quick questions. One is last week during the Super Bowl, you guys talked about a young lady, I believe, that does Lakeisha, who does the rent recovery program, but I didn't get the number. I was wondering if you still have that number.
Wow, you heard that?
Yeah, that's a Chris Haskins question.
You heard that? That's not even available. Let me see if I can pull it up. She sent me an email. It's not Lakeisha. It's her friend.
Oh, okay.
She's in New York too. Here you go. She sent me this thing. That's crazy. You really, Rick. So here's an email. I'll give you her email because I haven't even set it up yet. I haven't even brought on a channel yet. Chris, here's the website. Arrears Recovery. Y'all getting the nugget here tonight. Daniel Hawkins. 646-470-0347. She's got a program.
Mind, copy that and put it into the chat.
Huh? Oh yeah, no doubt. Sorry about that. Daniel Hawkins. Let me do that. Rick, you really freaking I know you must be rich.
I try to pay attention.
Yo, you are yo, Dan. I mentioned this for like 30 seconds, dog.
Yep.
Rick.
Hey, there's a bunch of nuggets, so I got.
Yo,
Guys,
So
Rick, thank you for being here and asking, Chris. Rick,
is that
thank
it,
you.
Rick?
Thank you, guys.
All right, peace.
You got
Dan,
you got to follow here.
appreciate it. We'll see you at the class if you got time to join us at the class. That's so crazy. You don't know what you're gonna get when you come here. So
Nope.
this lady, y'all, has a rent recovery program for landlords. It's almost like rent insurance. You pay her 10% or whatever, and she goes and she gets the rent from other organizations. I haven't even sealed a deal with her yet. So you're here getting that before everybody else is getting it. So make sure the link is in the video description, y'all. Join us at the rental property buying blueprint. You ain't getting it nowhere else.
Listen,
Where else
guys,
can you get it?
you know, again, Chris Haskins and I, the most amount of calls we get is about people who want us to evaluate a deal that they're currently in. And then they're beginning to have second thoughts.
Yep.
8 out of 10 times, it's a no good deal.
No good deal.
So we just
Just
got
like my man.
yeah,
Just like Sylvester.
exactly. So we decided to come up with this class. It's going to be a 3-hour class on March 3rd for 3 hours from 11 a.m.
Hold
to
one second.
p.m.
Hold one
Eastern
second.
time. And you know, if you're gonna also be getting my terminology sheet because I put that together because so many people, when I'm using certain words, seem that they don't understand the words I'm using. So Chris, could you bring up that terminology sheet?
Yeah, I remember that.
So the thing is that comes with that's going to come with the general admission and the VIP admission. And essentially, what happens is what I'm giving you the most used terminology when you go talk to your mortgage broker, if you're going to be talking to your attorney, if you're going to be talking to the realtor. We broke it down into sections, right? So if
We're
you're
gonna be
talking
blowing
to
this thing up
title
here too.
agent,
This is
you're talking to your banker. We're giving you the definitions to not only the terminology but the acronyms as well. Whether if you're talking about a wholesale deal or whether you're talking about a fix and flip, it's irrelevant. This is 12 pages long, guys. You're getting this for absolutely free with the membership, with the admission ticket. Now with the VIP, this is where it really comes in. Chris, go down to the bottom if you don't, right there. With the VIP ticket, right? We're going to be covering the 11 steps that Chris and I go through when we're analyzing a property. But the VIP ticket, you're going to get a really big plus. I have a deal analyzer that I currently use that you guys will get. That deal analyzer has made me hundreds of thousands of dollars and saved me millions of dollars by not getting into the deal because it was a bad deal.
best deals, the ones you don't buy.
The best deals I've ever done are the ones I've walked away from, right?
Go.
The VIP section will be able to ask questions during the class. You're going to get a copy of the recording. You'll also be able to come into the class 30 minutes earlier.
Yep.
And this is the best part. One of the best parts is what Chris just negotiated with PropStream. Chris, tell them about it.
Yeah, you're gonna get 30 free days of PropStream, so you can do comps. You can look for HOA liens, other liens, bankruptcies, foreclosures. You can look for mortgage information, monthly payment, interest rate. All that stuff is going to be included in a VIP ticket only. Okay, VIP ticket only. Let's take a call, Dan.
Yes, take it.
Y'all got to help me keep Dan awake too. Y'all know his bedtime is.
I'm up right now. I'm up.
Yo, caller, state your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hey, this is still Rick. I just had a couple of quick questions. If I could.
You back up. Okay, go ahead, Rick, quickly.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of refi for my mixed-use multi-unit building in Pennsylvania. It's amortizing. Can I use the appraisal I'm getting with my bank with a different bank if I can find a better deal?
Mostly not. Most of the time. I don't know any bank that will use an appraisal from another bank. I mean, I've never experienced it. I'm not telling you can't. I'm just telling you, me personally, I've never experienced it.
It's expensive. That's why it's like $2,000.
Yeah, it's a mixed-use property. That's why.
Cheap, man.
Yeah.
Joints ain't cheap.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that.
Okay. And my last question is: do either you use Stessa?
If I use what?
Stessa, Stessa.
What's that?
I do not.
I don't even know what it is.
It's a management
It's like
program, right?
it kind of manages the properties, keeps track of all the properties, the accounting. It gives you a lot of different reports, and it has a lot of freebies inside of it. Like
I haven't used it. I
I
haven't used it. I'm working on my third one that I'm actually trying out now, and if I like it, I'll recommend it. But the other two I've tried, I recommend it.
Thanks, Rick.
Okay.
Okay, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Another
Call
call
from
coming in.
Kwame.
Caller, you're on the line with Chris and Dan. State your name and where you calling from, homie.
Kwame from New Jersey.
Kwame.
Yep, Kwame.
Kwame. What city, dog?
From New Jersey, Chris, can you put in the phone number on the chat? Because some people are asking me on IG, and that way I can put it up on IG.
Kwame, what you got, bro? What's your question? It's right on the screen, but okay.
No, it's not.
You guys are sent from heaven. You guys do excellent work. You're doing God's work. God bless you guys, man.
Thank you.
Please tell our wives we're okay. Oh, can somebody please tell me?
Okay. My question, right? My question is this, and I just get advice from you guys because you guys are, subject matter experts. I just want to know what is the easiest way to scale my rental portfolio. I have 3 rental properties that I own free and clear. I want to get into purchasing multifamily homes from this point on, preferably 2 or 3 family homes. My credit isn't the best, and I work very long hours. So my thing is, what do you guys recommend that I do?
Chris, just before I go on to that, Chris, just put in the phone number for people calling into the chat so I could.
Oh, in the chat too. I put it.
Yeah.
I put it in. Okay, go ahead.
Well, people on IG can't see it because this is off the screen.
No.
So the first thing is, when it comes to subject to, I would tell you always ask Chris. He's the professional at that. I'm not.
Hold up, we didn't even get the subject to yet. He got to just
get mentioned for subject to. When it comes to looking to scale, it's very difficult to scale if your credit's not good. Now, if your credit's not good because the banks consider you to be over leveraged, that, in my opinion, is not a bad thing, right? Because that happened to me in the beginning part where, because I had to guarantee the mortgages, even though they were under company names, it lowered my credit score. Hence the reason why I would bring in a partner a lot of times, because that would offset that, okay, in the beginning part of my career. Now, if your credit is bad because you've made poor financial choices,
let's ask him, Kwame, why is your credit
I
bad?
would tell you fix that first.
I kind of got hurt during the time of the pandemic, in terms of with employment, and I had a lot of debt, which had nothing to do with real estate. But right now I'm in the process of improving my credit. My credit score has gone up, but I'm still in I would say about 640. I still need to get my credit score up, which I'm currently working on as we speak.
Go ahead, Dan.
Unless you have access to private money, I would say to you, work on your credit score.
Okay.
Now, private money is a different animal, and Chris really opened up my mind to that. Chris, you want to talk to him about going after private money?
Kwame, I wish I could just come hang out with you for a day. I just don't care about my credit. I just don't. I mean, we buy real estate every day without it. I haven't used my credit. Now, I will say my wife has helped us get a line of credit against my house here just a few weeks ago. But up until now, we haven't used anybody's credit. Well, Kwame, I just want to let you know that there's a world that exists outside. Are you familiar with subject to it all?
Yes, I'm very familiar with subject to. Yes.
So you understand that buying a house is nothing but signing the deed and keep making somebody else's mortgage payment, correct? We're clear on that.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
So what does that have to do with your credit? I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Oh well, one thing that I was looking at was I was looking at getting into maybe DSCR loans just to kind of scale in that fashion, but I wasn't too sure.
Yeah, listen,
Okay.
DSCR loans, that's the way I scaled.
Hey, hold on,
But with
guys.
DSCR loans,
Listen, man, they got people calling in. Please call us. Wait till the one call is over, then we'll take the next call. Go ahead, Dan.
the DSCR loans are great, but remember, DSCR loan says, okay, we're not going to check your income, but we're still going to check your credit, and we're going to check how profitable the property could be. So the loan's going to be based on the
Not how it could be, how profitable it is.
It is. So it's going to be based on the cash flow of the current property and based on your credit. With a 640 credit, your DSCR loan you may get, but your interest rate is going to be about 1.5 higher than everyone else because your credit score is at 640.
You can be the cash flow.
Right. So that's why I was saying, unless you're looking to do something with subject to, I would highly recommend that you work on getting your credit score up first.
We got to get Deborah. Kwame, you bringing me back.
Okay.
You're taking me back to your world. I want to bring you over to my world, dog. What does you take me back to credit? What does DSCR have to do with subject to? I want to make sure we're on the same page. We buy real estate. We get the seller signs a deed. I own the house, and I start making mortgage payments. I'm trying to figure out why are we going back to DSCR? How do they relate? How do they relate?
Well, I was just looking to find any sort of strategies that I can use to scale, with the existing portfolio that I have. And I was looking primarily at multifamily homes as a way. I'm in Jersey, so there's not too many multifamilies that I can't really say that because North Jersey, somewhere like in the Irvington areas, they do have multifamily homes, but I would have to pretty much do a lot of research as far as who's willing to,
There you go.
accept or go, the subject to route. I actually did your course, your master class with the subject to. I actually did your master class with you, Chris, some time back with the subject to.
Okay, so you got the philosophy down. It sounds
Yes.
like all we gotta do is turn up your leads. Did you go to my leads class last week, Chris? I speed the lead. You need to get leads. Just turn your leads on, dog.
Okay.
But see, Kwame,
Okay.
some people don't want to live in my world, and I will say this is a rough world. Direct to seller.
Yeah.
Most people don't want to live there. The shit has beaten me up from years. Most people want to live in the on-market world. Which world do you live in? The on-market stuff or the off-market stuff?
Well, I'm more leaning towards the off-market. You understand? As an investor, I would rather deal with some off-market leads. I want to be in your world, Chris.
I got you, brother. I would love to have. Well, you got to have your sword and your shield. This shit ain't easy. So we just got to talk about number one, your budget for leads. Number two, your negotiating skills. I don't know where they are. Number three, your liquidity to give sellers when you buy subject to. A lot of things. All you need is, dude, come on. You already know. You've been to my class. Credit don't mean nothing. I mean, it's like if we're buying, even Dan says it's hard, and I agree. It may be hard in New York. You in Jersey. Don't you got a guy to crush it in Jersey with sub twos, Dan?
You met him at the last lunch.
Mario.
Yeah, Mario. He's killing it.
Kwame, get a consultation, dog. I'll turn you on to my leads people, show you how to get your leads, because all it sounds like to me, honestly, sounds like it's a leads issue. I don't think it's you sound like you already understand money. You already got some rental property already.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
So it's not like a money thing for you. I don't even think it's a money thing for you. I think it's a leads thing and a skill thing. I think Dan, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
You sound like the way you talk, your word. I mean, damn, you sound sharp.
I appreciate it, man. Money's not an issue for me because I work full time, and plus I'm getting rental income. It's just that I know that me having capital is not helping me out. I need to find ways to invest it.
Let's do a consultation, or what we can do is when you come to the class next week, we got to take a call. Kwame, we got to go, man. We talk to you.
Kwame, I would tell you, join my membership class. It's free, and we could talk there.
Bring Daniel.
Wednesday nights, every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Daryl.
DanielBurrow.com.
A million calls. Caller, state your name, where you're calling from, please.
This is Daryl from St. Louis.
Darrell.
Darrell.
Yeah, guys, I want to make an announcement. Apparently, the 10 spots, the first 10 people already purchased the VIP ticket. So, guys, the VIP is 117, but that's going to be going up to like 149 in about a week or two, the way it's selling out. So I would tell you, still take advantage of this price point that's still available.
Thank y'all for supporting. Daryl, you in the baddest, you in the hottest market in the land, dog. I don't want to hear no craziness from you. What you got, brother?
Well, gave me some information about the house I own out here, and as Daniel called the dog.
Oh, yes, I remember speaking to you. Yes.
What is it? What is it? What is it? What?
It was the house I have. I owe $415, and I want to, that's how much is owed on it. So if I can sell it for $470.
Okay, is that good or bad?
It's good because I'm taking your advice. I am selling it when the corporate renters get out, and gonna go from there. But my question for you tonight is an age question, because I'm in my mid-50s and I'm beginning this journey. I have 2 rentals. My question for you guys, as someone at that age, what would you do to start your journey into getting rentals? And I can listen offline.
Okay, what we would do to start? Hold on, we probably got some. Daryl, don't go nowhere yet, man. We got questions for you. There is no cookie cutter. Dan, I already see Dan. I see these questions popping in Dan's head already.
Actually, I don't really have any questions because his questions is pretty simple.
You know, hold on, Dan. You can't advise somebody unless you know their reserves.
He's asking, what would be advice for somebody starting off? Correct? Isn't that what you're asking, Daryl?
Yes, because I'm at, again, 50, retired, have pension coming in, decent money, doing well, credit 780. So all those things are in place.
All right, we'll hang up with you and we'll take the next call then. All right,
Daryl. No, don't hang up. He's asking for the question. The question, I would tell you, Daryl, what you need to do first is figure out what niche you want to participate in. Because in real estate, just like when you go to be a doctor, right? You go to get your doctor's degree, but now you have to decide what you want to specialize in, right? So real estate's the same way. Do you want to go into property management? Do you want to go into fix and flips? You want to go into long-term holds? You want to go into corporate rentals? There's so many different ways you want to go. Do you want to go into multifamily, commercial, mixed use? So what I would say to you is seek advice. Seek advice from people that actually do this. And you don't really have to seek the advice as much as seek the knowledge, right? So I would say to you, come to my mentorship class that I host every single Wednesday night. It's absolutely free, right? When you're in there, network with the very same people that are in there. I encourage people to network. Tell people where you're from, and then you can eventually find somebody that's nearer to you. Go to Chris Haskins' YouTube channel. He's got over 150,000 subscribers. He doesn't have 150,000 subscribers because he doesn't know what he's talking about. He actually gives out a lot of great information. So what you need to do first is seek the information, dissect the information, and then decide what direction in the business you want to go in, right? Based on what's your risk tolerance, based on how much time do you have available to you, and based on what your finances are. Now, it sounds to me like you got the finances, you've got the credit already. You obviously have a really great relationship with money, because you would not be in this position if you didn't have a relationship with money. You understand how money works. So you've got the hardest part done. Now it's just a matter of deciding which direction you want to go in. And the way to do that is by going to meetups, going to mentorship groups, putting yourself in the room. Chris and I, we spend an enormous amount of money going to networking events, and we dedicated ourselves. We've made a promise to each other. We're going to go to major events at least once a year. Now, I'm going to be 62. If I'm still in the game and I still want to learn and I still could want to excel, why shouldn't you? You're only 50.
Gotcha.
right? I hope that helps.
Makes sense. Yes. Yes, indeed. Helps a great deal. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, brother.
Thanks, guys.
You want to
Daryl?
take the next call?
I wanted to talk more about Daryl with that. Sorry about that, Daryl. I think that we're sold out of VIP exclusive.
Well, we didn't sell out of VIP. We sold out because we gave it a special
first
tonight.
two. Yeah,
First
the
10 people were able to get the VIP tickets for the cost of general admission.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Now,
They're gone.
that VIP tickets going up in about 2 weeks, in about 10 days to 149. So
Dan.
I highly recommend that you guys still get it because it may go up maybe even next week.
Dan, my daughter has an announcement. If you don't mind, I forgot my daughter.
How are you?
Oh, you muted.
Hi, I'm good. Sorry.
Y'all, it's Taylor Haskins on the line. Her birthday's today.
Happy birthday, girl.
How old are you, Taylor?
17.
She's 17 and she
Old.
Yeah,
she
okay.
says, Dad, you know what, Dan? She says, Dad don't know nothing. Dad don't know nothing.
Oh.
Taylor, you're going to Australia thanks to Dan Borrero and a bunch of other people. You want to tell Dan thank you?
Yes, I do. I want to say thank you. I definitely couldn't have gone without you guys. I got accepted, and now all that money is gonna be going towards tuition. And like, I'm so excited for this opportunity.
She's going to Sydney, y'all. She's going to be playing the French horn in Sydney.
The
Trumpet.
the reality is, Taylor, that it couldn't happen if you weren't willing to put in the work.
That is true.
That's true. What else you got, Taylor, real quickly?
Oh, real quickly. Jabberwock. I'm in a program where we raise money to support scholarship funding for college. And at the end of all of the fundraising, they present us in a pageant style. Oh, I shared the link with my
I got it right here on the screen.
Yeah, all that in the description. It basically tells you a little bit about myself and what the Jabberwock is. And I accept donations of all kinds, and it's beneficial to business owners. All donations, including online donations, are tax deductible. And if you want to make a paper check, that's also tax deductible as well.
So if you want to be old like me, you can still do the paper check, right?
I mean, I know a lot of people that do.
Okay.
So
She's in a battalion, y'all. Is it cotillion or battalion? Cotillion. And Dad, I'm going to be doing a waltz with her. And guys, we're just trying to make sure we educate this next generation. I'm doing my best, and we're asking for your support for Taylor too. So it's links in the video description. Taylor, anything else, buddy?
Anyone who donates, I will personally send out an invitation, and your name. All donators will be recognized in the itinerary, the booklet. It'll go in the Delta sorority journal.
The Delta Sigma Theta. You talking about the program for the show?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We love you. Congratulations on making it to 17, my friend.
Thank you, Miss Haskins.
You're welcome. You have a good one.
So there's a couple of people on IG saying they've been trying to get on for like Pierre saying he's been trying to get on 7 times. Pierre,
I'm sorry, y'all.
Everyone else, we apologize. It's this is like
the phone's been hot tonight, dogs.
The phone's been a lot more live than usual. But you could call into that number 7.
We're open right now.
Yeah, join the rental. Guys, remember Chris Haskins and we decided to do a class, a master.
I'm tired of seeing people buy bad deals. I'm so sick of it. And Dan, we talk. Y'all know listen. Me and Dan talk about y'all. We talk about y'all all the time. When you do our consultation, he'll do one and he'll tell me about the deal. I'm like, yo, this guy's crazy. I would never buy this deal. Dan, the guy calls me all the time about these marginal deals, and it's like, why are people doing this? So we do this out of necessity.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry.
Gerald Peters, thank you for being on here, brother.
Peters, oh boy. Peters likes to get people upset.
Yeah, because he tells the truth. He calls you out.
Caller. One second, caller.
All right.
Caller, you're on the line with Chris and Dan. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
What's up, Dan? This is Pierre the DJ from upstate New York. What's going on?
So you're the one who's been trying to get off for 7 times, right?
Yeah, man, I feel like I'm trying to win tickets on a radio show.
Yeah, you got Dan Borrero here. I don't think Dan knows he's, his family will beat you up so much when you get on here. I'm like, Dan is the shit.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Chris.
I'm telling you, man.
Remember, I'll be downstairs. My wife going up the stairs to make sure you pick up your socks.
Pierre,
question, Pierre.
I don't want to hold up the line, but real quick, I want to share something with you guys. So today I had a showing at one of my rentals. I do a lot of advertising on Marketplace, and it may not be the best source, but I actually use it so that I can actually go in and check people's profile to kind of see what type of person I'm dealing with. And let me tell you, it never steers me wrong. I had a young lady that messaged me for a 2-bedroom apartment that I have. And when I went on her profile, I saw 4 children. So I asked her, how many kids do you have? She says, I have 2. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she says, I also have a voucher. Do you accept vouchers? I said, yeah. In most, situations I do. She says, all right, can I come out and see the apartment? I said, well, the weather's really bad. We have a bad ice storm up here. She's like, no, I'll come anyway. I said, do you know where we're at? Because she was in Manhattan. I said, we're upstate New York. We're an hour and 15 minutes away. She's like, well, I'll get a ride and I'll come. So she showed up, and the girl doesn't speak English, so she was using Google Translator. Just so happens, I'm an African American, but I'm married to a Puerto Rican. You hear that, Dan?
I love it.
Trouble.
So I dragged my wife with me over there. I said, come on. I said, I want you to see how this goes, because I've been trying to get her into the business for the longest, and she's very timid, but she don't have a choice. So anyway, we get to the house. The girl shows up in a taxi with her 2 kids, and the driver gets out and he says, oh, that's my cousin. And I'm like, okay, no problem. We go into the house and,
Might be.
It's possible.
Might be.
Oh, I think he was the sugar daddy. But anyway, we get into the house, and they're looking around, and they're in love with the place, because it's clean, everything is new, everything's freshly renovated. And she's like, oh yeah, I could bring you the paperwork. She shows me her voucher, and I'm like, okay. So with her in Spanish, and they're going back and forth. So she says, oh, I have one more kid that I'm filing for custody for from the father. And I'm like, okay. I said, how's this going to work? I said, you only allowed, 2 kids per bedroom. I said, this is a 2-bedroom. How are you gonna manage that with 3? She's like, oh, I don't know. I said, you know what? I have a 3-bedroom upstairs. Let me show it to you. So I took her upstairs. She's like, oh yeah, this is perfect. So, my wife and her are talking. So I go downstairs to go talk to the cab driver. And I said, listen, do me a favor. On your ride home, I want you to have a talk with this young lady and let her know that I'm very strict on my lease. And I'm very strict on when I ask, how many kids do you have? Don't tell me 2. And then when I meet with you later on, it's like, oh, well, there's 3. He says, oh no. He says, no, she's very upfront, and she only has 4 kids. I said, 4? Wait a minute. So
she went from 2 to 3 to 4.
To 4. So I told my wife, I said, ask her in Spanish, how many kids does she have in total?
Yo, I know the
4.
Latino community be reproducing, but ain't that fast, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so I just thought that was hilarious, but it obviously.
Yeah. Before I say anything to you about this story, what's your question, Pierre?
Good. That's a good note. I think that's a good learning lesson there for people that they just try and get that money real quick. They might overlook that, Pierre.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot to say about what you just said, but Pierre, do you have a question?
I've been burnt before.
Do you have a question, Pierre? Before I.
What did you say, Dan?
Do you have a question?
I didn't hear you, Dan. What'd you say?
Do you have a question? Because I want to talk about everything you just said, but I want to ask.
No. I wanted to just share. I wanted to share that experience with you guys. And you go ahead, man. I'm all here.
Let me tell you the way I look at that whole situation. Well, let me ask you this first. How long you been, Pierre?
How long I've been what?
How long you been a landlord?
Since 2012.
Okay.
Been around the block.
I personally started off the way you did, showing my own apartments, and I'm glad I did because I was able to develop the skill sets that you currently are developing and already have. Some you already have. But at this point, you shouldn't be showing your apartments anymore. And I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't be showing your apartments. You are in one of the most liberal states in America when it comes to housing. You know what that means? No matter what you say, no matter what you do, it's under a microscope. And no matter what you say, no matter what you do, when someone accuses you of otherwise, you are to blame. You got to prove yourself innocent. Now, I know the courts say differently, but they're going to treat you differently. They're going to treat you like the IRS treats you. Prove yourself innocent. We think you're guilty.
Right.
So, I never, ever, ever, ever show apartments anymore. And I always use a realtor, even though I got to pay that commission now because they changed the rules in the city, right? That realtor is my buffer. That realtor is my buffer. That realtor keeps me safe from lawsuits or false accusations, right? So, that, if your wife had not been there, she could have said, you know what? He told me that he'll give me the apartment even though I got 4 kids if I have sex with him. Or she could have said, you know what? He didn't give me the apartment because I told him I had 2 kids. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, when you have a realtor involved, now it's strictly based on the paper. Now, I train my realtors, and I've had my New York realtor, her name is Denise Cherry. She's been with me for over 25 years. I have my realtor in Florida. She's been with me literally since 2009. I have the realtor in Jersey. She's been with me, Gloria. She's been with me since 2007, right? They know I'm looking not only for what's on paper, but I'm looking for personality traits. When they send me an application, 9 out of 10 times, I'm taking that application because they're not going to send me the garbage because they also know that they'll be fired and I'll find myself another realtor that's not going to waste my time because I'm looking for realtors, right, that literally are relationship-based realtors. They're more concerned about maintaining the relationship for long-term income than they are the commission right now at this moment. Right now, the other thing I only use realtors to show my apartments is because they keep me honest. They keep me honest because they have to go for continuous ed every single year.
Up to date.
And in those continuous ed classes, right, what are they doing? They're teaching them the new laws that are coming out through the federal government, the state, and the city, right? So now they're keeping me within the box of regulated laws and informing me, listen, you can't do that no more, or you can't ask for that, but you could do this and you could do that, right? So they keep me within the parameters of the law, right? So stop showing your own apartments. You're putting yourself in a dangerous position. I hope that helps you.
Gotcha.
All right, Pierre. Good talking to you, brother. Thanks for that nugget.
Yeah, I do my free class, brother. Come. It's Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. DanielBorrero-Jr.com.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
That was a good one, man.
That was a real good one.
Somebody might try to say you gave him some booty.
I remember I've never been accused of that, but I remember one time it was a snowstorm, torrential snowstorm. Lady calls me up from one of my apartments and tells me that there's no heat, and
that sounds like my man,
right? So I go there, and it's a torrential snowstorm. I go there and I knock on her door. Meanwhile, everybody else in the building telling me they got heat. I called everybody else. They tell me they got heat. She tells me.
Call her 1 second. 1 second, caller, please.
She opens up the door, and she's standing there in a Michael Jordan jersey with her cleavage hanging out the side. I don't know what she has on underneath because it's so short, and some slippers. So I said, I'm not going in your apartment if you dress like that. She said, well, you can't tell me how to dress.
Hold 1 second. Call her, hold 1 second, please.
She said, you can't tell me how to dress in my apartment. I says, you're right. I says, but I'm telling you, I'm not comfortable going in your apartment. You dress like that. So when you get she goes, fine, I'll get dressed. I said, well, knock on the window. I'm going to go outside and shovel while I'm waiting for you to get dressed. So while I'm shoveling, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? how cold could it be? She walking around practically naked. I'm thinking to myself when I'm outside shoveling. So I finished shoveling. I heard her knock on the window. I put my shovel back in the back of my trunk and I went back to my business, to my store. At the time it was a video store. And I get there, my brother, at the time we didn't have cell phones. He says, "What'd you do to this woman? She calling up, going crazy. She said you made her get dressed and you left." "What do you mean you made her get dressed?" This is my brother. And I tell her the story. I said, "I ain't calling her." And so she did call. I said, "Call the heat complaint line. When they give me a violation, I'll go check it." I never got a violation. Do you know, I come to find out, now she was in the building when I bought it. I come to find out a year later, she settled a lawsuit with a previous landlord for making accusations against him, similar situations, for $100,000.
Wow. Caller, you on the line with Chris and Dan. Station name and where you calling from.
Hey, this is Chris as well. I'm from Chicago, but I've been buying properties in different areas.
Okay, that's cool.
But
Welcome,
the one
Chris.
yeah, thank you. Actually, I've been watching y'all videos. Actually, I was in Dan's free master course on Wednesday. I didn't talk up on that one, but I was just like hearing it out.
Okay.
I was very impressed.
How can we help you?
For attending.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so I got a question for y'all. So I recently, and this I was saying I bought this $1 million building. So I recently, 2 years ago, I bought this building. My property, not property manager, my realtor, she kind of oversold me on this. Like, oh yeah, you can get 2,500 and all this good stuff. And so and I think she's like a banker too. So she was able to finesse those numbers, but I never really felt really comfortable with it. But instead, I still just went through the process and, got the property. And I had
never
like this
felt comfortable with it, but you still bought it. Why is that?
Well, because it's in the gentrified. So in DC, there's areas that I'm from Chicago, so I know, growth when you see it. But I realize that sometimes when you just starting out, you don't want to just buy straight something that's slowly gentrifying, because they're definitely building up in the Noma area of DC, but it's still going to take a little minute for gentrification. And so that's why I feel like, I could probably just stick this out, because I was actually living in one of the units and then renting out the other one.
Okay.
So that's why I like. And then the thing about it too is that all my other properties, I kind of, lived in there and then eventually rented out, and it always worked. But this one, I guess it didn't work, and so.
How can we help you, buddy?
Crazy. Okay, really quick. So I got these 2 tenants that was on rapid rehousing, which is kind of like a temporary Section 8. But I just found out, I got a letter saying that, hey, their program has ended, and so now they can't pay the rent. And so now I'm like going through the process of trying to do the eviction. But one of them, they willing to leave. The other one said, hey, I don't got no other place to go. I offer her money, and I have a property manager to speak to her, because like Dan said, you don't want to be there because she could say anything. And some of them, they're very kind of somewhat promiscuous. So I'm like, they hey, that's why you try to get that buffer and not try to be, talking to them, because they could say anything.
Chris,
so my question is this. Sorry.
No, get to the question, because we're running out of time.
Oh yeah. I was just wondering, is it worth what should I do? Is it worth just selling it for a little $100,000 profit, or just go through the legal process in DC and try to go through the eviction process where they might just destroy everything? What would you do in that situation?
So you have to understand,
$100,000.
If you're going to sell a property with 2 bad tenants, 1 bad tenant or 2 bad tenants, you're going to have to get a whole lot less, especially because the investor is going to buy it. So I'll give you a case example. You come to me and Chris, let's say the property's worth 500, but I got to take on your 2 bad tenants.
And we know they ain't paying.
Right. We know they're not paying. I'm paying you $250. Why am I paying you $250? Because there's a value for me to take on your headaches. There's a value to that. Right now, if you want me to pay the $600, $500, then you get rid of the 2 tenants, deliver the properties clear of any violations as well as any liens, and make sure that the apartments are clean so I could rent them out. And I got no problems paying you the $500. because there's a value to you having done the work.
Can you get $5? You can make $100,000.
I don't
with
know
the
what
bad
the
tenant?
numbers are. I'm giving those numbers as an example, right?
Below market, but whatever it is, Chris, you can make $100,000 right now with the bad, selling it as is with the bad tenants.
Well, no. So
Yeah, I
about the
didn't
Airbnb,
think
so I
so.
was making.
I didn't think
No,
so.
I'm making around.
Chris, what you need to do is literally you are the perfect person to come to our class that we're going to be holding on
Find
March
the
3rd.
best. That's right.
Because if you had taken our class, you would not be having these problems.
Rental
Would have
property
known how
buying
to buy
blueprint.
that property. We are gonna, we are the reason we decided to have this mastermind class is because we are getting constant calls from people. I would say, let's say if I get 10 one-on-one consultations, 8 of them are for to evaluate a bad deal that they're already in when they should have paid us before they
Sound
got
like
it.
he should not have bought this house. Chris, you probably shouldn't have bought this one, huh?
Yeah, I shouldn't. So that's why I've been hitting you up down like, hey man, when's the next class? I'm flying down to New York. And I'm like,
well, I'm telling you, man, let's Chris join the and get the VIP ticket because you'll be able to get the recording. You're gonna get everything from us. You're gonna get my deal analyzer. You're gonna get Chris Haskins 30-day free trial for PropStream. It's so worth it, and that price is gonna be going up shortly in the next few days because a lot of people are buying that out tonight. I'm a little surprised, and I want to thank everyone that bought those.
Chris, sorry about that, man. But Chris, what lesson did you learn with this one?
If you don't got the woman, if you don't have the woman fuzzies about situation, just let the deal go. Even though it might be, don't do it at all.
How do you,
and
Chris?
also too, if you just start, oh sorry.
Go ahead. No, I want to hear you. Go.
Not only the warm and fuzzy, it's also going strictly by the
gut. The number. Go ahead, Chris. What was the other one?
Oh, I was going to say too. If you buy in locations like D class or C class, just know you're gonna have some headaches. So always try to buy in good locations because it's less headache. Might be a little expensive.
You got more turnover. At the end of the day, you got more turnover.
Yeah.
Point blank, end of story. I seen this shit, dude. I coach people around the country. I'm like, why you got 4 tenants in the last 2 years? Give me the address. You can pull it right up.
Yeah.
You can pull it right up.
Right up.
Those type of people just don't stay. No disrespect to them. It's just a different lifestyle.
Different lifestyle. Guys, I'm going to
Chris, thanks.
I want to just give a shout out.
Thank you. I'm definitely signed up for it.
Thank you. It's right in the video description. Y'all, if you want to join up, I'm sorry, Dan, go ahead. I got to.
Gerald Peters is on here, and Gerald Peters is not only a beast in this industry, he's unbelievable making money. But I'm going to be out in Mardi Gras this week actually, with Gerald Peters doing some great content. So stay tuned for that.
That's going to be nice. We got 60 people on here. I want to see you guys hit that like button. But further, if you're interested in buying, I'll say buying a next rental property, buying it right as opposed to getting your head and your handed to you, join the rental property buying blueprint. It's coming up next week. Information is all in the video description below. All you have to do is go to the link right in the description and get it all right there. You're going to see what Dan Borrero and we are going to be doing in this class. It's going to be a life-changing class.
Unbelievable class.
And you can...
I'm so excited, Chris.
Sleep better.
We're going to change people's lives with this class.
You can sleep better, right? Caller, state your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Stacy. I'm calling from Ohio.
Stacy, turn your phone down a little bit, Stacy. So, Stacy, are you frozen?
Can you hear me now?
I can imagine you are frozen right now. What's the temperature up there in Ohio?
I can imagine you are frozen right now. What's the temperature up there in Ohio?
We're in the 20s.
Man, you can keep that.
Stacy, what's the question? Thank you for being here.
How can we help you?
So I have a question about the subject 2. I have a question about the subject 2 properties.
We got to turn your, you got something that's
when
too
you
loud.
add your name to the property,
You got to turn your
Is
phone down
there
or
a
something.
due on sale clause?
Do on sale clause.
Yeah, she's got to turn. I can't hear anything. She's got to
Turn
turn it
your
off.
phone down or cut it off speaker. Stacy, you want to know about the due on sale clause in subject 2, correct?
Correct.
All right, cool. So yes, every loan that you originate will have a due on sale clause.
Chris, you're gonna answer the question, but you're gonna have to take her off because no one can
Hey,
hear.
Stacy, thanks for calling. I'm gonna have to go ahead and kill your line because we got feedback everywhere. Okay.
But we'll answer the question, Stacy.
I'll answer the question on there. Yeah, it's just too fucking much. Yes, every loan is going to have a due on sale. Now, if that keeps you up at night, subject 2, Stacy, is not for you. Okay. So I don't care about subject 2 necessarily. But if that's something that concerns you, you might not want to do subject 2. So for me, if we're taking it on a property subject 2, I am willing to bet that the lender is not going to call that loan, right? If they do, I'll go back to the seller, put it in the seller's name, then buy it on lease option. But those are things that I don't have the time to process it all.
You know what,
I'm
Chris,
trying to do
you've
deals.
done so many subject 2s. How many times have the due on clause been imposed on you?
None.
None.
In fact, I've never had a lender. Let me tell you a true story. When I bought my last house subject 2, the bank would show up because I used to buy them, Dan, and say the current owner was 3 months behind. Did you know I would keep the loan in arrears?
Is that right?
I would just keep paying. Say if you was 3 months, I would say boom, January, boom. I would keep it because I'm like, it don't matter to me. You had that's your problem. Right. So, but what the banks do when you're behind, they send out inspectors every other month or whatever. So I got tired of people knocking on my door. So if you don't even have, you don't even have to bring the loan current. You don't have to, but it's a little risky. But yes, I wouldn't even worry about it. I don't. In fact, I don't worry about it. You can fix it.
One more call, right, Chris?
One more call. Okay, cool. Y'all get registered. Unfortunately, the price for the general admission, we're already sold out on that. But yes, we do have early. This is early admission.
We still have general admission tickets at $67, but we would
early.
Yeah, we did a special earlier. The first 10 people got the VIP tickets for the price of the general admission ticket. So, but right now we have a number that we're gonna start raising the price on the VIP ticket to $149. So I highly recommend that you get the 117 VIP ticket while it's still available because it will be going up to $149.
It's an honor to hang out with y'all. We got one more question. I got questions all in the chat, man. I feel bad I didn't ask here. Somebody wants to know, Dan, can a hard money lender help fund the pre-foreclosures subject to deal by covering arrears? No. Destiny, sorry. No. Dan, that's not going to happen.
I mean, I don't know anybody would because now they got to take a second position to a mortgage that's already in the process of being foreclosed.
In somebody else's name?
And then somebody else is going to assume the mortgage. Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Do they offer short-term loans? No, they're not going to do it. Destiny?
It's too risky.
Well, in their minds, it's risky, but
yeah,
you need to find you some private money, Destiny. Chump change. What up? It's my homie. Is it necessary to buy a home before you're able to buy and purchase commercial property? Dan?
No, you could buy commercial property right out of the gate. I mean, that's a you decision.
Well, I want to say if you're still renting, I don't know, man. Do I want people? Here's the thing: when I hear people that are still renting, do I want them to focus their efforts on finding a place for themselves, or do I want all that time, energy, effort, and money?
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I bought 2 rental properties. The first one was a 2-family. The third one was a 2-family with the second one was a 2-family with 2 stores. My third property is when I finally bought my own personal home, and I wouldn't have bought it. What happened was my wife was pregnant, and we were living in a real small 1-bedroom apartment.
You won't have a net.
Yeah, well, you know what? I didn't want to have that either. To be honest with you, it wasn't really enough room in the apartment, and I was paying real cheap rent because it was right across the street from the BQE.
Wow.
It wasn't an ideal location. But for me, I was perfectly fine. I lived there while I was a bachelor. I lived there the first year and a half while I was married, and I was just saving tons of money. So I wanted to buy. I didn't want to spend my money buying a house when I could live in that particular place at a very reasonable rent, where it allowed me to save money for bigger down payments.
Yeah.
So it all depends on your situation in life.
It's true. It all depends. That is true, Dan. So you're saying every person's situation is different. All right. No other questions?
Sly's saying we got to. Okay, Sly, if you don't mind,
it's just frozen.
Yeah, can you send us either DM or your email, and we will check it out tonight.
We'll get it straight for you. We'll get it straight. Sorry, we got a few bugs with our processing pages over the last time. We'll get it straight. Just send us an email or send us. Yeah, we got a slide. We'll send your. Matter of fact, we'll get our processor to work on that. We'll send you the. We'll send you the link to get that done.
Just send us your email.
Thanks for supporting on that. Any other questions? I had. Dan, we probably got 20 missed calls here tonight, man. I wish I could show you my email.
Yeah, I believe it, guys. I want to thank you all for being here. I just can't get over it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on tomorrow, next week, Chris. I was going to suggest you bring in my brother.
We can.
Yeah.
Hold up. Why don't you broadcast from New Orleans?
Yeah, because we're going to be at dinner. It's my daughter's birthday that night.
It's 7:30. It's going to be 5:30 there. You're 2 hours behind, or is it 1 hour?
All right, yeah, but I'm not sure.
I think it's 2. Y'all let us know. Is New Orleans 1 or 2 hours east? I think you're in Mountain Town. We'll see. Look, I'm glad we already helped Sly. When he told me, do you buy a house? Should I buy? I'm not getting any cash flow. I want people to really live with that. Just feel that one. Because that was me. I don't want, I'm saying this with empathy. That was me. Do I buy it? No cash flow? No way in hell.
Absolutely.
You can't even. Dan, let me ask you, if I gave you a house today, well, let me talk about years ago. Well, if I'm like, Dan, I'm going to give you this house, no cash flow, would you take it?
If you're giving it to me, I'll take it in a heartbeat.
So you're willing to lose money. I'm going to give you a property. Let's say it's $300,000. It's worth $300,000. No cash flow. You're willing to lose money on the repairs for the next. Not the Dan now. I'm talking about if you start now.
The Dan starting out in a heartbeat, and it was like, well, would you have the money to fix it? I said, I'll figure it out.
I wouldn't do it.
See, now I would. I'd be like, you're giving me a free house. All I got to do is figure out how to come up the money to fix it. Done. Done.
Okay. So y'all are seeing two different things. I wouldn't do it because all I see now in my head now, I see $5,000 to $6,000 a year for the next 10 years.
No. See, I'm looking at. I'm gonna do added value, and I'm gonna flip it.
There's no equity. There's no equity.
But is there no equity because of the condition the property is in, or is it no equity because he's already maxed out and he took out too much of a loan?
No equity. Condition of the house is great. The house doesn't need anywhere. There is no way to add value. It's just a house that needs nothing. No equity, no cash flow.
I would try to figure it out. If I walked away from it, it's not going to be because of a lack of thinking effort.
So let's walk through this. Tomorrow's President's Day, Dan. The banks and title companies closed.
I'm leaving, bro. I got to get ready. I got work to do. But let's talk about it. Guys, every scenario is different, and every person has a different risk tolerance.
Yep.
And the risk tolerance is dependent on responsibilities. So my risk tolerance when I was 26 years old and had no kids and no wife was a lot more higher than when I got married and had my first kid. And my risk tolerance when I had my fourth child was a lot less than when I only had one child, right? So it all depends. Everybody's in a different stage in their life. So it has a lot to do with our risk tolerance.
That's right. Well, I'm just saying when you buy a house, y'all, or somebody I don't advise people. So even if someone I'd be like, look, even if someone gives you a house and it's no cash flow, I don't know how you're gonna make money. What are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it, Dan? Tell me. You can't add value. You can't raise the rents. There's no equity. You can't refinance it. What are you gonna do? Ride it out?
If you talk about it in those terms,
yes, that's the terms.
But I don't see how there's no refinancing available.
It's no equity.
There's no added value.
It's no equity.
I would have to every prop. You know what I tell people? Every property has its own personality.
It does.
Just like human beings.
It does.
And every property has its own attributes, its own personalities, its own attitude. When I walk in a property, that property talks to me. That property tells me what's good about it. That property tells me what's bad about it. That property tells me if there's bad tenants. That property tells me if the previous owner was a shithead and didn't care or put in just anybody. And you know how that property tells me that? Please, if anybody wants to know how the property talks to me, I'm going to take this one. I'll stay a few more minutes because this is serious. The property talks to you. Ask me a question how the property. Anybody here who wants to learn how the property talks to you, ask me. How many people we got on here right now, Chris?
50.
50 people. Who wants to know how the property talks to you?
We'll take a question while we're waiting for that. Sly wants to know how much cash flow per unit would you expect each month for a 4-building, Dan? I don't know, 4-unit building.
It all depends how much it costs me. So if I bought a 4-family building in the city of New York, I want no less than $1,200 a month cash flow per door. If I bought a 4-family,
$1,200 a month.
Right, because it cost me 1.5, 1.6 minimal, sometimes $2 million to buy that. Right now,
wow.
If you tell me a 4-family in Albany, New York, I'm going to want $300 a month because my acquisition cost wasn't as much. There's an opportunity cost to my money.
No doubt. That's crazy.
It all depends how much the property costs you. It all depends how much work you got to put into the property, and it all depends where the property's at. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I hear people tell me, oh, I'm making $150 a door. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not answering a phone call for $150. I don't even want to answer a phone call for $300 a door.
Not really.
Yeah.
I will, but not really.
Exactly. So it all depends.
Dan, we're going to get to that. They want to know, but Dan, Dennis wants to know that property we talked about. Could you lease option it to create cash flow?
Not the way Chris just described it. But again, guys, I would look at every single angle on how to make it happen.
Dan,
property.
This is what I see all the time. People buying houses at value, no equity, don't need no work. You can't I mean, what? All right. You can't lease option it. Even if you got a down payment, you can't change the monthly payment, dog.
So we got a few people asking how. All right.
How do they know? Everybody wants to know. How do you know?
How does that property talk to me?
How does it talk? A Castillo wants to know how. Deborah says how. Red Zone. How does it talk to you, Dan?
When I walk in that property, if the curb is dirty, I know the landlord's a shithead.
If the what's dirty?
If the curb or the front of the house is dirty or the grass is not cut, I know the landlord's a shithead. Because you know you're selling this property. Why you not? Let me ask you guys a question. You ever go out on a first date without getting a haircut or taking a bath or changing your clothes? You're trying to impress that girl, right? Or that girl's trying to impress that guy. She's going to shave. She's going to put on her nice heels. She's going to put on some beautiful makeup, right? Well,
you're crazy, yo.
So why in God's name, if the guy wants to sell me that property, he ain't going to clean it up? That's number one. I know the landlord's a shithead. That's right. If I walk in the property and I see there's a carriage and a couch, right? Or there's a.
This is traditional rentals, y'all. Make sure don't get that confused. Right?
I know that these tenants have been here a while. I know they're cut. They're running their show, and the landlord's not enforcing the rules. I know that when I take over this property, based on just that alone, I'm going to be fighting with those tenants because no tenant wants to. I'm going to be coming in like, yo, I'm the new sheriff in town. Get this shit out of the hallway. I'm throwing it out.
Good Donald Trump them.
That's right. So they're not going to like me. I know it's going to be a battle. I'm probably going to end up in court with them. Right? When I go to the roof, if I see trees overhanging, branches overhanging the roof, or the gutters are filled with leaves and things of that sort, I know that this building, that tells me that everything in the building has to be looked at a fine-tooth comb, and everything behind the walls is probably going to be a problem because if the owner doesn't care about cleaning out gutters, that tells me a lot about his personality. That tells me a lot about the tenants, what they're willing to tolerate. And they're probably willing to tolerate it because the rent hasn't gone up. Now I'm coming in, cleaning, telling them get their shit out of the hallway. And by the way, your rent's going up. I'm going to be in a battle. Right? And then if I really want to know about the tenants, I'm going to go through the garbage with my gloves. Garbage tells you everything about a tenant.
What you looking for?
I'm looking for how many
Blunts.
Amazon packages is they getting?
How many what?
Amazon packages they get. You on welfare, you getting 12 packages a day? Yeah, something's wrong with that, right?
What about blunts? Blunt guts.
Cigarette butts. The residue of bamboo paper or easy paper.
Easy.
Right? Guys, garbage tells you a lot about people.
I'm just a trash man, dog.
Yeah,
I'm just
if you're getting like a lot of Wendy's and McDonald's, that tells me you're not too concerned about your health. That leads me to believe that you're not concerned about anything else, because that's just personality traits. Right? Guys, I don't have to talk to the owner of the building to know what I'm buying, because the building's talking to me. As I'm walking through the building, it's talking to me. It's telling me everything. Please take me, and please fix this, and please fix that, and please get rid of these tenants. The building's talking to me.
Wow. I'll give Dan a thumbs up for that. Sean Brown says, can you use a property manager instead of an agent to buffer between you and the tenant, Dan?
Absolutely.
Good one. A Castillo, I'm buying a shoe rack for the hallway. Okay, for the tenant that has shoes in the hallway, because I want the property to look good.
You know what? I gotta be honest with you, bro. You're nice. I tell them, I knock on the door. Get you shit out of the hallway. You want your shoes?
I ain't gonna move it.
No problem.
Now what?
The lease says that anything in the hallway becomes the possession and ownership of New York City Department of Sanitation.
Oh yeah, you're gonna touch me.
Okay. You're gonna hold me, and you're gonna hold the landlord harmless. That's what my lease says.
We'll see about that, bro. Yeah, you touch my
shoes. I've been
shoes.
taking the court. I gotta take it. This one lady took me to court. She told me, she told the judge I got rid of her Asian, I don't know what kind of rug it was, a $5,000 rug. Went to the judge. Here's the lease, judge. Here's the text messages I sent her. Here's a copy of the certified return receipt. I gave her too many chances, judge. Judge looked at it and says, I don't understand why we're here. And I said, by the way, judge, this is what it cost me to be here today. Here's my income tax returns, proof what I make per hour. This is what I want, judge. Judge gave me the money. Cost her $3,000 for me to go to court, small claims court.
I had the nerve out of respond. Okay, this is fun. Round up family, it has been an honor to serve you today. I want to say, first of all, thank you for your attention. Thank you all, man. You know, it is an honor. It's not easy doing this every week, and we do this because we want to love on y'all, and we go through problems. I just had a pipe bust today. I had a fire in one of my units. I didn't even tell you all about it yet, but
you didn't tell me about that.
I mean, Dan, you know what? I didn't even speak about it today. I got the text message. I didn't even speak about it. We will talk about that this week. Listen, if you want to buy your next rental property right, and when I say right, to make money, right? Because a lot of people, unfortunately, really don't know how to analyze a piece of real estate. So Dan and I want to take all the mystery out of that and help you analyze your next deal. So join us at the Rental Property Buying Blueprint. It's going to be one day. Dan and I are going to sacrifice the time to show you exactly how we do it. You're going to get all this stuff here, VIP. You're going to get 30 days free of Prop Stream for the VIPs. You're also going to get Dan's Deal Analyzer, which you just type in the numbers and it kind of tells you exactly what offer you need to make. Because as you can see, y'all, the people we've had on here today, Dan, we had some professionals on here tonight that made some bad decisions on buying. These guys weren't even new.
Listen, and I want everyone to know,
it can happen to anybody.
I'm not flawless from making mistakes. I too make mistakes. But the difference is that when Chris and I make mistakes, they're much smaller mistakes, and we can sustain the mistake.
You got to mitigate it.
The beginning part, most people can't afford to make any mistakes when you're starting off. I remember those days.
You get wiped out.
You wiped out. I mean, I've been on that edge many times, guys. Sleepless nights trying to figure it out.
All right, that's all we got for you. Much love to you. Hit that button. Share this content with other people that are interested in buying rental property. If you have a family member, a friend, colleague, coworker, somebody that you know is speaking about this stuff. And you know what, Dan? I know we got to get out of here. I believe that you guys are smart. I believe that you're doing your best with the knowledge that we all have. It's all we have is the tools in our minds. And I believe that a lot of us just need that little push, that little environment to be in that will not only pull us to success, but showcase just the ideas and thoughts that are going around in our head. Dan will call me. In fact, I'll be talking to Dan about something. He may not understand it, and boom, I give him 2 or 3 words. And even today, I'm like, Dan, this is where we need to be. And he'll just take those 1 or 2 things and just, you just take off like a rocket ship.
I appreciate that.
So I'm just saying, remember we were talking about copy and sales, so it's like, I don't think I think you guys are smart watching, but it's the environment. If I don't know something, when I talk to Dan, he'll give me a little bit, then I'm gone with it. I can run with it.
Chris, so for those of you that join the Mentorship Unleashed, I host a free mentorship class every Wednesday. Chris, put up the website if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Right? You go to this website, you sign up for it, it's free. But I have on my Mentorship Unleashed, I have the band app where we're creating a community, exactly what Chris was saying. Everybody on that Mentorship Unleashed is part of that band app. I can't tell you how many people said, like, I have a friend of one of them said, I needed a plumber. I put the plumber's name. I put it in the band app that he needed a plumber in the Bronx. He had 3 plumbers that night, and he got his problem fixed that same night. It was an emergency deal with a boiler problem, right?
Wow.
So this is what we're talking about. Become part of a community that is banding together, where you all help each other, whether it be through my mentorship, whether it be anything else that you guys could find in your local area, whether it be Facebook, a Facebook page in your area, whatever that is, part of the community.
Okay, see you guys soon. And all of our registrants, we're seeing you coming in for the rental property rental property buying blueprint. Here you go. The link is right below. All you got to do is click, get started. Join us. 3 hours with Dan Borrero, VIPs. You get 3.5 hours and get all that extra stuff. I'll see you soon, class. Thanks, Dan.
Take care.
Peace.